Hello ladies and gentlemen, you're watching NDTV. A new rift has emerged within the Congress party after senior Congress leader Shashi Tharoor praised Operation Sindoor. Remember, Dr. Tharoor is part of multi-party delegation that's travelling to the United States of America. He said these comments. He made these comments in Panama. In fact, he is also travelling to Colombia today. In response, Congress leader Pawan Kheda has lashed out at Dr. Tharoor indirectly by citing his 2018 book, which was called The Paradoxical Prime Minister, where Dr. Tharoor had strongly criticized the Modi government's handling of national security. Now, Dr. Tharoor, who is abroad leading a critical multi-party delegation on Operation Sindoor, has responded to this, saying that his critiques can go on and on, attacking him, but he has better things to do. Now, it's clear that this rift between Dr. Tharoor and the Congress party has only increased in the recent past. Dr. Tharoor, remember, has been praising Prime Minister's diplomacy even in the past, or even his initiatives such as Swachh Bharat. Dr. Tharoor has also lauded Kerala ruling LDF government's work when it comes to promoting startup economy. Kerala elections are also coming up, and Dr. Tharoor is an important face, educated, accomplished. He's also a multi-term MP, which is why this story becomes all the more interesting. Now, there's always party discipline that is important. No political party likes its leaders praising its rivals. But when it comes to national interest, isn't it okay for politicians, political leaders, to project that one voice of unity and reason? Congress sources, however, told NDTV that they have nothing against Dr. Tharoor. They don't want to ruffle feathers, specifically when it comes to issues of national interest. But they want to only set the record straight when it came to Dr. Tharoor's recent post on X, where they felt that it undermined the efforts made by late and former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi in 1971 war. Now, this is specifically important because the Congress party in the past has lost many of its qualified, enterprising young people to the NDA, from Milind Deora to Jyotiraditya Scindia to Jitin Prasada, and several local leaders as well who showed potential and promise. So what does the future hold for Dr. Tharoor? While he has emerged as a fierce defender of national interest and India's Operation Sindoor, it's also important to remember that he is not your usual parliamentarian. He is someone who has had a successful stint in UN diplomacy. He is also the chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on External Affairs. He is a celebrated author, also an orator, and someone who tried to contest against Mallikarjun Kharge, the Congress president. And that is why it becomes important to see how the Congress party treats him, because the Congress party takes a lot of pride over what it calls its democratic traditions. So that is what we discussed today, the future of Dr. Tharoor, and also what does this rift mean for the BJP and for the Congress party. We will bring in my guests, but first let's listen in to what Congress leader Udit Raj said today about Dr. Tharoor.
श्रीमान शशि थरूर कहते हैं कि मोदी जी के पहले कोई लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल या इंटरनेशनल बॉर्डर पाकिस्तान का पार ही नहीं किया। इतना बड़ा झूठ और इतना बड़ा षड्यंत्र कांग्रेस के इतिहास मिटाने का जवाब तो देना ही पड़ेगा। उनको अपना काम करना चाहिए कि वहाँ जाकर के कांग्रेस की बुराई कर रहे हैं।
Rohan Gupta, who's a BJP spokesperson, joins us. We also have Tehseen Poonawalla, who's a political analyst. He supports the Congress party. And Amitabh Tiwari, political strategist, who is also joining us now. To you, Rohan Gupta, first. Rohan, you're also an example of how the Congress party has lost young, potential, promising people. What do you make of Shashi Tharoor's controversy? Because at the end of the day, party discipline, party protocol are also important. And while democracy is also very critical, the fact that Dr. Tharoor has often praised the Prime Minister, who's an oppositional rival for the opposition. How do you see this?
I think you have asked very relevant questions. See, at the end of the day, we are all in politics to serve the people of the country. At the end of the day, anything which is against the country, obviously our conscience will not, go with that. And that's what is happening. See, this politics on Dr. Shashi Tharoor's name started from the time government asked Congress party to nominate the people. You tell me, the person who is heading the Parliamentary Committee on External Affairs, how cannot he not make to the list of 4 people which Congress party is recommended to BJP government? And at the end of the day, when it is a question of country, it is a responsibility of government to ensure that the best of the best who can represent the voice of country are selected in this panel. And that is what we are seeing across the world. It is really moment for pride for all of us that all our MPs like Supriya Sule or OIC or Shashi Tharoor ji and all BJP other leaders, they are doing excellent job. So this is what Congress party will have to understand, that what is the difference between what is against the country and what is against the BJP. If you miss that light, the country will not trust you. And that is the whole mindset that Kotri, what I call them Darbaris, they do not like good people, young people or deserving people to grow in the party. There is an insecurity due to which they are surrounded. And the voice of the top leaders, this is the Kotri who has become the voice of the top leaders. If the top leaders, they don't understand the voice of ground and their opinion is made by this voice of this Kotri, this is bound to happen. And Dr. Shashi Tharoor is the latest example in that. And that's why what happens that your narrative, which is, you are trying to portray that you are with the government, but on ground, you ask anybody today, Congress has totally become like the narrative is anti-national. They are talking against government. No, they are talking against the country. If their statements are misused by Pakistan in media, it means that there is something wrong with their strategy. And that is what they have to learn. But I don't think so they'll be able to learn, because their eyes and ears are these Kotri who are ruling the Congress party for last 20 years.
Right.
You do your thing.
Yes, such public disagreements, I'm sure you also understand, affect Congress party's credibility. Although I do think that there's so much democracy that it's actually, interesting to see so many people coming out with disagreement, something that we don't see happening in the ruling party at all. So how do you think the Congress party could have handled the Shashi Tharoor controversy better?
Good evening, and thank you so much for having me on the show. There are two aspects that I would like to deal with. Aspect number one, the issue of our members of parliament being abroad. May I please say something, that when you're abroad and you get the privilege to represent Ma Bharti, you're not a Hindu or a Muslim, you're not a congressman or a BJP leader, you're not somebody from Maharashtra or Kerala or Delhi. You simply are representing the tricolor, and under the banner of the tricolor, you put India's point of view forward. Just let me extend this a little bit. There is a narrative in the world about an India-Pakistan conflict. But what started this was something in Pahalgam, a terrible terror attack following a hate speech made by Asim Munir, a bigoted speech. And in Pahalgam, 26 Indian citizens, their names were checked on the basis of religion, asked to recite the kalma, their IDs were checked, and their pants were checked. They were shot dead in the head. Today, after the stupendous success of Operation Sindoor, what India is doing the world a favor by sending these terrorists to the destination where they will find 72 whores. Because if India does not take care of these terrorists, it is Europe that will suffer tomorrow. It is the United States of America that will suffer tomorrow. Remember, after 9/11, America came down to its knees. And the person who brought America down to its knees, Osama bin Laden, was found in Pakistan. It is India's duty to put this forward to the world. India is doing humanity a favor. Now to how could the Congress party deal with this? Look, if I was leader of the opposition, there are two things I would do. Number one, there are very legitimate questions that the LOP has a right to ask. So you could do one thing. You could ask the NSA to come and see you, the Air Force Chief to come and brief you. These are things that are legitimate in a democracy. Or as LOP, I would go see my Prime Minister and have the Air Force Chief and the other chiefs and the others.
I'm asking you this question. I do feel that someone like Owaisi,
Can I please finish?
Someone like Owaisi, or for that matter, someone like Shashi Tharoor has also come out looking stronger than ever. Do you think Rahul Gandhi also missed this opportunity to also show this side of him? Of course, the whole country was united after Operation Sindoor. Do you think that this is something that the Congress party failed to understand?
I think the entire country, including the Congress, is still united with the government. And I think that it is what I was trying to say earlier. If I wasn't interrupted, I would have made that point. There are very important questions that could be asked in the private. For example, the NSA could be called, you could go meet the Prime Minister and have the chiefs of the forces brief you there. That is one way of dealing with it, or in the Parliamentary Committee of Defence. So I do say that is those ways to ask and raise those questions. The second point that needs to be done is understand that MPs who are representing India are doing that are not doing a political party representation. They're representing the tricolor. So we must understand the difference of those. And those who particularly may not enjoy the clout or a mass base should not try and bicker in public against MPs who are representing the party. I'm very clear about that line. Okay. There is one more thing that I would like to put out here. I think that the Congress was the original nationalist party, And I think the Congress should remember that in hours of crisis, like right now, it is important that with gravitas and sensitivity, we put across our points to the world and to the government, and we support the government as well as ask the right questions.
Right. Amitabh Tiwari, what does Dr. Tharoor's public endorsement of Operation Sindoor indicate? Because, some would feel that the Congress party's response is also in some ways reflective of this commitment that, there needs to be ideological consistency in a party, and every political party wants that, isn't it? You'll have to unmute yourself.
See, essentially the all-party delegation going out to various countries and explaining India's viewpoint, and the entire operation, the entire nation being united on Operation Sindoor and the action which has been taken by the government. So the statements which are being made by Shashi Tharoor are not in contradiction to any position which the Congress party has taken on Operation Sindoor. They're asking questions, but they have also supported Operation Sindoor and have lauded if not the Prime Minister, lauded the armed forces for the action they have taken. So there are no ideological inconsistencies or a position which he is taking which is contrary to the position of the Congress party. This is primarily coming from the fact that he was part of G23. He contested against Khadge. So he, in a way, contested against the sort of an official nominee of the Gandhi family. There are people within the Congress party who are now jealous of the position or the limelight which Shashi Tharoor has had due to his statements or interviews with the global media, and now with the position which he has been offered by the government. So there are people who are not happy with Shashi Tharoor getting this limelight. So the loyalists of the party and even the people who are not happy with his taking limelight are making constant statements against what he has been saying. He has not said anything which is untrue. He is really presenting the point of view of India. So what happens is that actually the Congress party or the Congress president needs to rein in people like Udit Narayan, because these statements can anytime turn out to be the statements.
Udit Narayan is an actor.
By,
Udit Raj.
Udit Raj, sorry.
Sorry, a singer.
Made by Manishankar earlier. So this is not doing the Congress party any good. This is exposing the infighting within the Congress party, and it seems that there is too much democracy, because this is not democratized. It's not democracy in a party. This is like clearly infighting and going against party lines. So somebody has to come in and tell the people here, which is Jairam Ramesh or Pawan Khera or Udit Raj, to stay quiet on these issues. The problem in the Congress party today is, I think, who will do that?
Right. Okay, Rohan Gupta, the ideological consistency thing, I still think that at least there are multiple voices coming out from the Congress party. Any other party wouldn't have allowed this, isn't it?
See, I always feel that democracy to an extent is always good. There is nothing wrong. But when it goes against the country, see, right now when you are saying different voices, it's not that we are fighting. This is not some internal issue where there is a fight between BJP and Congress. We are talking about the country. And the whole issue, leave Dr. Shashi Tharoor's issue. You see the whole issue from the time Operation Sindoor started, people like Udit Raj, who do not have any ground base, the way they are talking, do you feel that they will be talking without permission of their darbaris? No. They are talking this on instance of some people who are insecure because of the weightage Dr. Shashi Tharoor is getting. Dr. Shashi Tharoor is getting this weightage because of his abilities, because of his experience. Why they don't understand? And when it's about the country, what are they gaining by doing these things? Absolutely not. This kind of bickering, it is not helping Congress party. In fact, their value is still going down in minds of their own workers. But people like one of the panelists told names, they will not understand this because their own insecurity ensures that party really fails on ground as far as the narrative concerned, and this is the latest example of that.
Right. Tehseen, is there a fundamental problem with the Congress party that it does not recognize the people that need to be sort of celebrated, the people that need to be, the people that are actually faces?
That's why Tehseen has never become the Congress spokesperson. Even after having a voice, he always supports Congress party from outside. But one good thing about him is whenever he has to take side of nation, he takes, and that's why he's not on the panel. He always supports, and the kind of service what he does to Congress party, even their official spokesperson, they are not doing.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving one example because this is
Absolutely.
the debate where the whole country is watching. They need to get the perspective. They don't like the people who have the voice which is resonating to the voice of the people. As
Tessin,
soon as you raise that voice,
is
you
that
are
something that
labeled
you
as
observe about the
anti-party.
Congress party as well, that it does not know people, its own leaders who are actually the people that people want to sort of relate to, people that they want to vote for?
So look, on an average, I meet about 4 to 5,000 people daily. And what I have realized particularly about Operation Sindoor is this operation is honestly much needed and a game changer. And it actually put Pakistan on a backtrack because we cannot allow terrorists to infest our country and to do the kind of things that they were doing or they did in Pahalgam. Now there is support for this, and it is important that the opposition stands behind the world, because you will agree with me, insofar as military, economic or cyber warfare is concerned, India is way ahead. But misinformation and propaganda, Pakistan's ahead by 2 decades. Therefore, we have this MPs going abroad to try and put our perspective. But look, if we put each other down in these hour of crisis, I think we'll be doing a disservice. I'm again saying, and what I was saying earlier, there are legitimate questions that should be asked and that should be answered. We are a democracy. But those could be answered in private, or you could go see the Honorable Prime Minister, have the service chiefs there, and ask those questions on the Parliamentary Committee of Defence. By sort of breaking up issues at a time when the nation is still looking at Operation Sindoor, still not recovered from Pahalgam, I think may not be politically a prudent move. If I was again the head of the Congress, and I was asked to nominate people, I would have nominated Dr. Tharoor simply because we knew that Dr. Tharoor was going to be nominated by the government, and he does have the expertise. So why put somebody who has the expertise down? Let people serve the nation, let the nation come on top, and we can resolve our issues in a special session of Parliament or the Parliamentary Committee or in private meetings with the Prime Minister or having the chiefs over. I think those are two separate issues and must be dealt that way.
Right. Amitabh Tiwari, what kind of impact do you see this having on Kerala elections? Because that is also going to be very important specifically for UDF. Shashi Tharoor was at one point being seen as one of the CM contenders. And you have KC Venugopal, you have Ramesh Chenditala, you also have BD Satishan, and then you also have Dr. Tharoor. Is it in some ways also reflective of Dr. Tharoor's the fact that Dr. Tharoor could have given up on his Kerala CM dreams, that he's also looking at something else here?
No, see, essentially on a personal level also, Shashi Tharoor is probably at the fag end of his career with age of 69. By the time this Lok Sabha tenure ends, he will be 73. So now he has two options, because the Congress party is not in power at the center. So he is, of course, through this all-party delegation and his positioning on Operation Sindoor globally, trying to position himself as a leader who has a following, and trying to also send a message to the Congress party that probably he needs to be accommodated or given a strong position, a big position in the state unit where the elections are due, and his face could fetch them those extra votes which could be needed to win the election against the left. Now, he also realizes that the BJP is not in a position to win the state elections in Kerala. So, what perhaps he's trying to do is that with the BJP, if at all he is making or thinking of any move to join the party, that will be largely at the national level and aiming for a national role like others, Jyotiraditya Scindia, etc., have got in the cabinet, because he has now positioned himself as a good spokesperson of the country and its policies and Operation Sindoor. So he's trying to hedge, and he will see as to how the Congress party, or at least the Congress leadership, now reacts.
Right.
The Congress leadership, by not reining in these guys like Jairam Ramesh or Udit Raj or Pawan Kheda, is not helping Shashi Tharoor make a decision to remain within the party. So we'll have to see how these things pan out in the next 2 to 3 months, and after his return from this all-party delegation and possibly his future meetings
Right.
with the Gandhi family or the Congress president.
Okay. Closing remarks from both Rohan Gupta and Tehseen. Tehseen, what are the main learnings of the Congress party very quickly, if you can just summarize for us?
Look, I think what the political party must do, and I'm very grateful for Rohan Bhai and his kind words to me. I think as a political party, my advice to these people as a supporters is to reflect why are talented people like Rohan Bhai here or Shehzad or Jyotiraditya Scindia, Himanta Biswa Sharma leaving the party. I think they should reflect upon it. Number two, I honestly feel that ultimately somebody like Rahul ji, who's a mass leader, should only have mass leaders around him. This is my personal opinion. And not really look at what happens in social media echo chambers, because the social media echo chamber will always support you. You must look beyond it. And lastly, I think this is the time our nation needs us. Very rarely in the time and the history of a nation in our lifetime will we get an opportunity to stand up for the nation. This is one such opportunity. We are not BJP, we are not Congress. We are driven by the tricolor, and we are doing the world a service by ending terrorism in Pakistan. I am telling you, Vasunda, if we don't do this, the next attack on India will be worse, and the next attack will be on Europe. We have to do this for humanity, and India has to drum up support.
Absolutely. Last comments from you, Rohan Gupta. I also wanted to ask you, why is a validation from Dr. Tharoor or Owaisi so important for the party? Is it because they are seen as secular voices? Do you see this as victory, or do you see this as completely expected?
See, Vasudha, the basic irony is, as what other panelists also told, when the biggest leader of the party, if he is surrounded by a coterie and his voice is the party's decision as made by the coterie, this is bound to happen. Because they themselves have not won elections, they themselves are going from Rajya Sabha for many years. How will you expect them to understand or resonate with the voice of the country? You tell me, Vasundhara, you are a senior media person. Anybody in media or in political circles, will anybody with a logical mind take the decision what Congress party has taken in last 2 days? Will Congress party, will anybody who is decision making process will remove or exclude Dr. Shashi Tharoor, who is the head of the Parliamentary Committee on External Affairs? Is it, do you feel that is logical? But these are blunders, these are self-goals, nobody can save them. So till the time these darbaris are at the helm, they are going to lose the good people because they feel suffocated. See, at the end of the day, where you are in public life, you cannot go against the voice of the people. You need to understand what the country wants from you. On all the issues, including Operation Sindoor or any other issue, Congress needs to understand why their narrative is totally against the ground narrative is because their narrative is decided by people who are not connected with the ground. And that is why good people are leaving. That is why good people feel suffocated, who wants to contribute. That conscience will bite and they will have to go out, and that's what is happening. I think this is another leader on the way because of this so-called darbaris. And you tell me, people like Udit Raj, do you feel that they can talk like this without permission of the big leaders?
It's
No.
not democracy. This is just a series of blunders. Thank you all of you for joining me on this broadcast. And we have this very important breaking news now. No action will be taken against Dr. Tharoor, is what we understand. Congress sources have told NDTV. My colleague Ankit joins us with more details on this, but that's on the other side of this break. Time for a short break. More news and updates on the other side.